Ever wonder how multinational corporations impact the economies of poorer countries? It's a question that draws attention to a global phenomenon. Multinational corporations, with their vast resources and far-reaching influence, are often seen as potential engines of economic growth, particularly for countries struggling to find their footing on the economic ladder. The general perception is that these corporations can be the catalyst for economic development in poorer nations. But is this always the case? Let's dive deeper. Take, for instance, the case of a multinational corporation operating in a poor country. It's not an unusual scenario. We often see large international companies setting up shop in countries where labor is cheap and regulations are lax. It's a business strategy that, at face value, seems to offer a win-win situation. Consider a technology giant that decides to set up a factory in a low-income country. The local workforce, previously underemployed or unemployed, now finds opportunities in this new factory. On the surface, it appears as if the company is contributing positively to the local economy, providing jobs, and injecting capital into the system. But let's delve a little deeper. The multinational corporation, while employing locals, is often paying them much lower wages than they would in their home country. This is one of the primary reasons why they chose to operate here in the first place: to exploit the low labor costs. The company then generates substantial profits from the factory. Now, one might assume that these profits earned in this low-income country would be reinvested locally, right? Unfortunately, this is seldom the case. More often than not, these profits are repatriated back to the corporation's home country. This act of repatriation essentially means that the wealth generated in the host country is taken out and sent back to the home country of the multinational corporation. Consider the case of this tech giant. It operates in the low-income country, utilizes its resources, pays its workers less, and then takes the lion's share of the profits away. The host country sees little to no benefit from the profits generated within its borders. This cycle continues, and over time, the wealth gap between the home country of the corporation and the host country widens. The rich get richer, and the poor, unfortunately, get poorer. The profits, therefore, do not stay in the local economy, but instead flow out, potentially leaving the host country even poorer. This is the often overlooked reality of multinational corporations operating in poorer nations. The case of repatriation is a clear illustration of this imbalance. So what's the aftermath of these profit repatriations? Well, the implications can be far-reaching and often detrimental to the host countries. Let's break this down a bit. When multinational corporations repatriate their profits, it leaves less financial resources within the host country. This means there's less money available to invest in local infrastructure, which can lead to poor roads, inadequate healthcare, and substandard education systems. Also, the reduced inflow of funds into the host countries can lead to slower economic growth. This can then result in higher rates of unemployment and lower wages for those who do have jobs. Moreover, when these profits are repatriated, it tends to increase income disparity. The wealthy executives at the top of these corporations are making more money, while the average workers in the host countries are left with less. In essence, the rich get richer, and the poor, well, they unfortunately get poorer. So, to recap, we've journeyed through the intricate relationship between multinational corporations and impoverished nations. We've delved into the concept of repatriation, unearthing how it potentially siphons wealth away from these struggling economies. We've explored the aftermath, seeing the ripple effects of these economic practices. It's a complex topic with many facets to consider. Next time you see a multinational corporation setting up shop in a poor country, remember to question, where is the profit really going?